Hello guys and welcome back. In this video I wanted to show more examples using the point VOB, and we're also going to create another tool for making pillars. So let me create a geometry node and let's delete that. I'm going to create a line. Okay, say it's 1 unit. I'm going to add 60 points. Cool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a point VOB. I'm going to dive inside. And right now each point has a Y position, and the X and Z position are zeroed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce X position, X offset to these points, but keep the height and the Z axis. So I'm going to create a vector to float, and I'm going to create a float to vector, and I'm going to leave the Y to be the same, the Z to be the same, and let's connect that back in. You can see nothing has changed, and now we're going to start introducing new values here. So with this value, I'm going to I'm going to connect the X axis. So nothing changed as well, but I don't want that. I'm gonna start introducing an offset to this. So the offset in this case is going to be based on is going to be driven by the height. Okay, let's say we create a constant attribute and let's connect it here. So you can see now we're moving this. We're adding offset to all the points. The same value is being added to all the points, but I don't want that. I want the offset to be based off the height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a ramp, and we can use the height right now. We can use the Y axis and connect it to the Z. It's going to create a linear value. You can see it's offsetting the point. As it gets higher, the points are being offsetted further and further, but I don't want that. I want to be able to control that, so I'm going to connect a ramp, and then I'm going to connect that here. The result is the same, but what we can do now is we can control that shape. Let's set it back. Let's set it to black, so it's only moving the points at the center. And right now the amount is too much, so I'm going to add a multiplier and expose that control. So let's add a multiply node. And if we want the control to be available outside, we're going to right click and say promote parameter, and this is going to expose that control. It's here now, and we can change the offset. So instead of using just this ramp, we're going to add something a bit more fancy. So let's create something more interesting. Something like that. And white is going to push the points, black is going to leave them at the center. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a revolve node, and this is going to revolve the points. And you can see they're all at the center now, so I'm going to add a small transform and just move everything a tiny bit so it has some thickness. And you can see that's our pillar there. And we can move this guy. Let's decrease the amount of offset, and let's change this part so it has some base. And again, black is this thickness, white is, let's set it to white, and white is this value, which is this. Okay. And we can add more points if this is not detailed enough. We can add more points, and we can control the profile now in any way we want. This is different than the square. As you can see, it's not, we're controlling the profile. So it's not exactly the same as before, but this allows us to do some more interesting things as well. Cool. So I think that's pretty much it for this video. We can let's cap the top and bottom. So let's add a polyfill node, and this is a new node in Houdini 16, 16.5, 16. It's very clever node. It analyzes any holes in the mesh and it tries to fill them with a quad. You can see here it created a perfect quad, which is fantastic. So that's one thing there. And we can add a subdivide node to add a smooth to the mesh and add more polygons. Let's view this as smooth. And this is just one way of creating pillars. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.